Hi! So today I want to talk about flyering. The whole entire city of Edinburgh right now is covered in millions of posters and flyers because there's about 3,000 shows here at the Fringe this year, and each show has about somewhere from 300 to maybe 700 posters and flyers that they have covered the entire city with. So just do the math, and you figure it's a lot of flyers on a weekly, daily basis. And I didn't get my posters in until today. I did have my flyers yesterday, so I was doing my own flyering. I was walking around to all the places near where my apartment is, where I'm staying, and just giving people these little flyers. This is it. I guess a question you could ask is why use this sexy little image, or the title for that matter, Dirty Pecky Lingerie, on my posters. And I think it's important to use it, right? Because it talks about, the play talks about these issues of sexuality, identity, sometimes dual identity. So by that I mean that a lot of young girls, not just Muslim young girls, but just South Asian young girls in the West in general, from conservative families, are sometimes living these dual identities, like they're one way in real life, outside of their home situation, and then they have this whole other life at home, and their parents don't know anything about what's going on with these girls outside of that home life because of parents are strict culturally or what have you. A recent case, the sad recent case that comes to mind is the case of Shafila Ahmed, who was sort of stuck between these two worlds, and I think didn't have any help and didn't know who to turn to. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Shafila Ahmed in the UK, and you'll find out what I'm talking about. So I think for those reasons, it's important to kind of talk about these issues of sexuality, identity, religion versus culture, which is everything that my show, Dirty Pecky Lingerie, is all about. So I was taking around these flyers to all the different places yesterday, and I came across this little clothing shop with Pakistani clothes. And so I walked in, and there was this older lady in there. She had her hair covered, and I walked up to her, and I was speaking English to her, even though in hindsight I could have spoken Urdu with her because I thought she was having trouble understanding me. And I gave her my flyer, and I explained to her. I was like, this is a play I'm doing. I'm the writer of it. I play 6 different characters in it, and it's very positive. It's a positive portrayal of Muslim women. So I do my whole spiel, and she's very nice the whole time. She's smiling and nodding, and she doesn't say anything to me. And later I'm like, oh, she didn't understand a word I said. She probably doesn't speak English that well. So I walk out of there. And then today I got my posters. So I was walking up the street again, putting posters everywhere, and I come upon their shop again. And on the outside, there's a bunch of posters, like lovely, hot Bangkok, boy, girls, something, and other kind of provocative sort of posters. And I'm like, all right, well, they're not gonna have a problem with this. So I go ahead and I put it up there. I mean, all the way as high up as I could get it. And the second I do it, this young girl in her 20s rushes outside, and she's like, excuse me, I want you to take that down. I don't like the word Paki. And I was like, God, all right. It was so hard for me to reach all the way up there and put this because, I'm vertically challenged. So I put it up there, and now she wants me to take it down. Great. So I'm like, really? You want me to take it down? Okay. So out comes this older lady who I had talked to yesterday, who I thought didn't understand a word I was saying. And she says to the girl in Punjabi to leave me alone and to let it be because I'm doing something very positive for Muslim women, and they should support me. And it was really touching and taught me something, even though it's funny that in my play I have a hijabi character who's very outspoken, and she's a feminist, and she lets everybody know what she thinks, and she's a very, sort of a strong portrayal of a Muslim woman. That's sort of how I see hijabi women that I know as. They're not being oppressed in any way, and they're doing this as their own choice, and that's sort of the character, right? But then I was passing judgment on this lady, not for being a hijabi, but just for being older, and me thinking that because she's so much older, she's not going to understand where I'm coming from. But it was really interesting to have her stand up for me to this younger person. I never expected to see that, and I guess it's taught me something. I'm not going to judge people, obviously, in some way that I was judging for being different. So thank you, older auntie lady, for being so supportive. Thank you.